What's up, Guru Nation? This is the Guru coming to you from the lab here at the Dana Rader Golf School, and I wanted to just highlight and share with you all a lesson that we did today with a new student of mine named Brandon. And I was really fortunate for him to find my blog and decide that he wanted to work together, and drove over 3.5 hours to come see me. And he was pretty excited after the lesson and asked if I would put this on the blog, and I said sure, that this would be a good way to kind of start putting some lessons on here so you can share the experience of what some of the students go through when they come out for a lesson. And I've got the before on the left and the after on the right here. Brandon is 4 or 5 handicapper, so he's a good player. He was struggling a little bit with his ball striking. The shots were high and right and kind of weak, and not very solid. And you'll be able to see why here in just a second. But just wanted to kind of go through what we worked on and show you the difference before the lesson and then afterwards. So the first thing that we assessed was the setup and the posture. So as you can see on the left, the hips are rolled under a little bit too much, and a lot of slouching in the spine. So got the hips out, got the spine angle a little bit better here, and got him tilted a little bit more towards the ground in a better posture. His grip was a little bit weak in the left hand, which means it was turned on the handle to the left just a little too much, and it was a little bit up in the palm. So got it back down in the fingers. Turned it maybe a half to a full knuckle to the right to help square up the club face. And he was currently working on swinging more from the inside, as you can see. And this is really what I like to highlight to most folks is the value of lessons, because at one point in his swing he may have needed that change and he could have been working on the right thing, but then over time it's very easy to overdo these things. So you'll see the product of his model and what he was trying to do. So as he takes the club away on the left, you're going to see the club get immediately below the plane line and well to the inside and a little too flat. So he's affected the plane and also over-rotated the face a bit. So I started to work immediately on getting the club going back a little more on plane, feeling like he's got a little less hand action at the start. The club head's more outside the hands with a little bit tighter triangle here with the chest and the arms, doing a little bit more of the initial takeaway. So you can see that I definitely got him started back on plane. Club face is more squared, maybe slightly closed, which is okay for there. And then from on the top half of the left side here, he had to lift the club up with the face being just a little open. We knew the left hand was a little weak, so you're going to have a tough time squaring that up unless you really flipped it at the bottom. So from there, trying to get the club to set a little more upright, and I even wanted him to be a little bit more upright in that area as well as we continue to work. But this is the last video that I got. So exaggerating that feel is key, is that he actually feels like the club is sticking straight up when he's doing it the way I want. So we said, well, if the club's on or parallel to the line, then that's what we want. So it's a little flat right there, but then it gets set much better at the top, and you can see that being a product of the grip change, as you've got a little bit more leverage and a little more set at the top of the backswing. And then coming down on the left, being a good player and talking about what he's working on, he's trying to swing more from the inside out. You can see that he's overdone it a bit. So the club's coming down below the plane line, which causes the bottom of his circle to be a little bit too much to the right, which is going to make it very difficult for him to contact the ball and then get the low point of his swing in front of the ball. So you can see why he's hitting kind of push fades or high right shots with not a whole lot of zip on it. So now coming down, because of that takeaway change and the overall general knowledge that he can be steeper and be okay, you can see the club coming down on a much better plane. Still just a little flat right there, maybe just a little inside, but immediately the ball striking improved, and he was hitting the ball, longer and straighter with a little slight draw. So this was all in about 50 minutes of working together. And then you can see, if we flip to the face-on view, monitor the head movement. I thought his pivot was actually pretty good. And we'll put up what I call the slide line and then the sway line. And it's kind of tough to see with the black glove there, but his left hand was a little too neutral for my liking, and I tweaked it over just a little bit so it actually matches his right hand a little bit better, and it was actually more in the fingers. So as you can see, on the left, you're going to see his right arm not only attach itself to his body, but also disappear a little bit sooner than I would like to see. I want to see the right arm swinging a little more away from the body. You can see that nice little separation there of the right arm, and also the right arm being more on top of the left in the takeaway, which is what I prefer. So you can see a good change right there. A bit more load into his backswing, which we didn't even work on, but it just happened to do. So, and as he comes down, of course the club is coming from the inside, so he had to slide out of the way to try to make room for it. And here you can see he can post and rotate much easier into his impact position, which is pretty good right there. Left wrist is flat. Got a nice 80-inch golf club here with a nice straight line. So I would say that's a pretty good recipe for good ball striking right there. So if Brandon's going to maybe make a few comments on the blog, and I'll share that with you folks as well. But I just want to thank Brandon for coming down, driving all that way, and I hope he had a good experience. He's a great student. I think he's got loads of potential if he can play and practice a little bit more. I gave him one simple little drill that I will share with you here, and you've all probably seen this before, but I actually will show you two drills that are helpful for this particular problem. And one is the pre-hinge drill, where you just set the club in front of you, and you don't even have to do it that much. That's a little more hinge, and this is an old picture. But as you turn back, then the club stays more in between the forearms, and that's what I explained to Brandon. We don't want to let that club get below the right forearm. So kind of anywhere in that area would be acceptable. And then you can kind of set it to the top. So you can do that one, or you can do a broom drill that I got a video of. This is Nancy doing the broom drill, where you just set the broom handle on your side. This might be a little better. Set the broom handle up on your side, and this will also keep you from rolling and force you to keep your right arm on top of the left and turn your chest and shoulders as you go back. So that's an excellent thing, Brandon, that you can do in the house, and maybe do a bit of housekeeping as well. So, all right, folks, hope you enjoyed this lesson. Let me know, make some comments below if you would. If you like this kind of thing, is this helpful? I would definitely have a little more time getting into the winter time to do a little bit more of this, and glad to do it. And again, thank Brandon for being a excellent student today. And check out the blog. If you are looking at the blog, that's great. Tell somebody about the blog. I've hooked up the link there at the bottom, golfgurutv.com. And I've got some new videos getting ready to come out that I've shot, and also looking at doing one with a special guest that I will not tell you who it is. I'm going to surprise you the next week. one of my Twitter buddies and outstanding teachers, that we're going to do a video together as he passes through Charlotte. So look for that, and like I said, tell your friends, and I'll see everybody next time. Thanks for checking out Guru TV, and good luck with your golf.